Hello, everyone, and welcome to our next installment of Connections for Life's UPSCO's Employee Profile. Today we have with us Gary Lash. Welcome to the show, Gary.
Good morning, guys.
Hey,
Good
Gary.
to
Gary. I see that you're in the office, huh? You're one of the lucky few that gets to come in every day.
I'm boots on the ground.
I have to assume it's because your wife probably threw you out.
Yeah.
I've been living in the barn for
how's
3
your
years.
He lives in his car out back.
That's right.
In a van down by the river.
Yeah. So Gary, let's just
Right.
jump right into it. Obviously, you've been with UPSCO a long time. I've known you since, I started. You were one of the guys that interviewed me when I started at UPSCO. Let's just kind of start it off like we always do. Why don't you let us know what your job title is and what you do?
Well, I've been with UPSCO 12 and a half years, and currently I am the inventory control coordinator. And I basically I have a unique position here in the finance department that allows me to do quite a few things. Currently, I manage the RMA, the return goods process. I manage the demo process, which is getting our outside guys demos in and out so that we can go out there and sell product. I manage currently the eBay program, and that's taking product that's old, and
trade-ins and things like that too, right, Gary? That's
trade-in is part of the RMA process, and that's in my ballpark too. I also manage gas and utility contracts for the company so that we get the best deals we can get out on that front. And I do inventory budgets, cycle counts, inventory finance audits, weekly open PO reports for the finance.
I'm glad you do all this stuff because I would be absolutely horrible at doing things like that. I'm glad that there's somebody there that actually does all that, because I would be just a disaster if that was me.
Garrett, do you get involved in the and this is a question I should probably know the answer to, but do you get involved in the inventory side of the prefab process too at all? Just a little bit here and there.
Basically, every Monday I run an open PO report for the raw materials for the production side, and I make sure that the open POs are going to be here when we want them.
Gotcha.
So they have to hit our target dates, and I have to check in with them. Usually we run that about 6 weeks out. And we start chasing those things down, and that certainly helps.
That's interesting. The only reason I bring it up is because I know Joe and I, coming up at the UPSCO Expo that we're putting on, we're doing our own
little tire pump.
Thank you. We're doing our own presentation on our proven process, and that you're obviously a huge part of that proven process. So we might come chasing you down for a little bit.
Actually, do you just want to do it? And we would have to. That'd be great.
Yeah,
all right. Yeah. Listen, I know all this stuff's pretty like day-to-day stuff, but I really want to know, man, like you've been with us for 12 and a half years or whatever, 12 years, and I've been 10. We've had a lot of fun things that have happened at work, especially while we were in the office. But what is your personal favorite memory from work? Like, what is the one thing that always sticks with you about being at UPSCO?
Well,
and it better be something with me. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of things over the years. We had a salesman many years ago that used the wrong size ball on the back of his truck, and he was towing one of our compressors, and the compressor came loose and passed him on the right hand side.
No way.
I know who that is, and,
well,
and
we don't have to mention any names.
Don't name names.
I will tell you, at the time that wasn't funny.
No.
But over the years, it's
legendary,
lasting impression on me. The other thing is when I first met James Taylor from Footage.
Oh, the singer?
And the funny story about that is in the opening 30 seconds of us introducing each other, I said Gary Lash, and he said James Taylor, and I instantly said, "Do you have Carly Simon's phone number?"
Knowing JT, he probably creepily does somewhere. JT, that's for you.
Yeah, he's the best of the best. But that's a funny story because
that's great.
That is fantastic.
And it's been upward since then. So
in 12 and a half years, we've certainly, you know, I've been here almost 7 now, and I've created some great memories, and you've been involved with them for sure. You know, one of the reasons we try and do this, Garrett, is to try and get more people and good people to come to UPSCO to work. So what really makes UPSCO great? What keeps you here for 12 and a half years?
Well, the first 5 years was managing the sales department, inside sales department, and then I switched over to finance. But what keeps you here is it's just a unique place in that you're given the ability to run with ideas, and the management is good here, the leadership is good here, the ownership is by far the best that I've worked for in my career. But basically what makes UPSCO is that we have a little diversity in that we have production side where we make the gas meter sets, and on the other side we have distribution, and that's the selling of equipment for underground. There's a lot.
You're doing something different every day. It never really gets stale.
I thought your answer was going to be because they keep you chained to your desk. I thought that was why you've been here 5 years.
Yeah. Well, they've tried that before.
He always keeps picking the lock and getting his way out.
Gnawing at it.
Yeah, my desk is metal. I have probably the oldest desk by choice in the company, and looks like it's from the 50s, but I enjoy it. So
you enjoy it?
Retro. We call that retro.
Retro look.
It's probably worth more than any other desk now. I mean, 10 years ago it probably wasn't, but now they're retro.
In scrap weight. In scrap.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, I was looking forward to this, and I just want to mention to you guys that while other folks are out there binge watching the Ozarks and The Handmaid's Tale, I did want to tell you that I binge watched Connections for Life in my home, in my recliner.
Okay.
For 4 hours.
I'm not sure if you want to tell people that.
Well, my wife stuck around for a couple of them, and then
we don't even watch them, man.
Then
Then
I lost her. But yeah, good stuff you guys are doing.
I want to steal them. So you binge watched it. What was your favorite episode so far?
My favorite episode, boy, that's I would have to say JT.
Yeah. First episode?
Yeah.
Well, the first real one, yeah.
Well, if you had asked me what episode that was, I wouldn't have been able to remember it. But well,
interesting enough, Gary, we're gonna have a call later today with Dirk from Ionics and JT. We're trying to change things up a little too and make things a little more creative. We're gonna have a roundtable with those two guys and discuss how static affects the pipe and affects the squeezing and the grounding of the tool and everything. So maybe we'll get to watch JT again. We want to get him back on there. So it's
we miss him too.
Very good. I do want to say that you guys should be proud of yourselves finding something creative to keep the voice out there and to keep talking about natural gas and our connections and the products that we sell.
Honestly, it's been a ton of fun. We enjoy this.
I was gonna say, Chad. I mean, we gotta also be level with you too. That it keeps us sane. In this time where we're typically used to bouncing around and things like that, you know, being able to just communicate with your buddies and be able to put something on that's fun to do makes coming to work and sitting in your home every day a little bit more palatable.
Well, it
we
started
we
so
all
we could connect. We could stay connected. We're a very tight knit, interconnected company, but a sales team specifically, and you know, we know that they're valuable. So.
Well, we appreciate your viewership. I know we have one last question.
Teddy usually gets to ask this one.
All right, so if you binge watched it, you know what's coming. So I'm gonna be careful with the wording. Who is your favorite actively employed UPSCO sales guy?
It can't be the guy that lost the trailer. Sorry.
Can't be.
And it can't be Gene Cody either.
Well, see, yeah, here's the deal, guys. My answer on that has to be Gene Cody. Because my relationship with Gene in the 12 and a half years I've been here, it's the longest relationship I have with the outside sales folks.
Makes sense.
And and I learned more from Gene in my first 4 years here of managing and learning the product. So I would have to say Gene at this time. No offense.
Okay, well that doesn't count because he's not on here. So
Chad, you can edit that out, right?
All right,
yeah, so I'll cut it short.
So here's the deal. If I have to choose between the three of you, it's got to be Joe because I helped hire him. So.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
True.
And you're the only guy that picked Joe.
Well, we know how you really feel.
Well, it's an
it was like getting picked
out.
last for the base or for the kickball team, you know. But
you are equally superstars.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay.
Well, I want to say from my angle, Gary, I think I have the unique position of being able to work side by side with you for a couple of years prior to coming on, you know, moving on the outside sales. It's always been a pleasure, man. You've always been a great ambassador for the company. You've always worked really, really hard and done always the right thing. And we appreciate you, even though we don't get to see all that often, or I know a lot of the things that you're working on seem really, really boring to all of us, but I know how important they are to the company. And we thank you for the time, energy, and effort that you put in that.
Thank you.
Into everything that you do. So thank you
and I'll try and remember to tell you when I give things to people for samples too.
That's a whole different conversation.
You know, that's an up and down.
And with that
thing.
said, we've got a wrap, folks.
Getting much better, and you take it day by day. You know.
Well, Garrett, we just want to say again, we appreciate you. Thanks for coming on the show, and
thanks,
we'll see if we can.
Yeah, guys,
we'll actually black our screens.
This is good stuff. This is
really
very good
appreciate
stuff.
you joining us. So
glad to have you, buddy.
Hey, thanks for joining us, Gary.